man in the backfield. Elliott, he'll get the football here. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Here's the offense, and I don't know what more you can say at this point in his career about Jason Witten.
You just give him full respect. This is a guy who knows how to do everything on the football field. Not just catch the ball, but huge in the run game with his blocking at the line of scrimmage.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Again, it's Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a third down at 8. And here we go. We get to see the Falcons again on offense, a crew that last year scored 540 points, tied for 8th most all time. But my question is this, such a crushing Super Bowl loss in the offseason, does that set you back big time, or does that fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward?
It should fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward, partner. That's exactly how it's supposed to react, and that's what you'll see in the Falcons locker room in the entire offseason. They'll talk about finishing, unfinished business, things of that nature. But we have seen where teams have not recovered from it. Remember the Rams? They got to a Super Bowl, got beat by the Patriots, didn't get back there again. The Broncos in 2013, #1 offense, #1 scoring offense. They didn't get back in 2014, but they did in 2015. So you can recover from it.
First down carry by Elliott. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Partner, I know you call the play-by-play, but you know your ball. If I throw these numbers at you, all right, 6 yards shy of 2,000 of total yards from scrimmage for a rookie running back. What do you think?
Sounds like me in high school.
Sounds like you doing it, right?
It's really fascinating in what he was able to do. The thing for me, though, he did that as a rookie. Where do you go from here? I mean, can you keep going up from those numbers your sophomore campaign?
I think that you can. He's had examples of that preceding him in the NFL. Some guys who are in the Hall of Fame right now. Remember, he had 16 total touchdowns because it's not just his ability to run it. He can catch it out of the backfield as well. No one plays harder than this guy does, down in and down out. I think he's just going to keep getting better.
Let's go!
Here's Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Here we go!
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. A glance back at 2016 for Dez Bryant. 50 receptions, under 800 yards, had 8 touchdowns. What do you make of the season that Dez had?
Well, remember, it started with Dez injured, so it took a little while for him to get started. I'm going to make a bold prediction for you. Would not shock me at all if he doubled his catch number next year and darn near doubled his receiving yardage total. Because if he's healthy all year long, they're going to want to take some pressure off of the run game themselves, and Dak Prescott in his second season should be that much more confident throwing it downfield.
Going right side, he has Witten. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Let's go! 190!
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
After the interception, here's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. Over 1,400 yards last year for Jones, just 6 touchdowns, but, yeah, of course, he had the big 300-yard game. However, when he was blanketed with coverage, he always opens things up for other guys, doesn't he?
He does, and that's what's benefited Atlanta's offense. Other guys were able to step up. In 2016, Mohamed Sanu stepped up and had his best year as a pro. Austin Hooper, as a young tight end, really developed down the stretch. And Taylor Gabriel, who had come over as a free agent from Cleveland, he really flourished, actually led the team in touchdown catches. But there's only one Julio Jones, and you want to get the ball to him as much as possible.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
And he fires one that's intercepted. They find some open field here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
A free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yo, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Atlanta now coming out on the field. On first down, Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Justin Durant doesn't get mentioned very often in conversation, but at the end of every game, he's made a lot of tackles.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. They're going to give it to him running right. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. 11 yards for number 11.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is, and I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a third Pro Bowl in 2017.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Here's Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, an 11-yard touchdown. The Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 75 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
So out come the Falcons now. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Here's Ryan to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make the play on first down.
Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. Prescott on 3rd and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten from 8 yards out, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. And Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated 2016 in Atlanta. The most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really a nice compliment to Julio Jones, and he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because of his versatility. He can play in the slot. He can play out wide. They can use him as a wildcat quarterback. He has thrown passes in the NFL. In fact, going back to his days at Rutgers, I think he threw 18 passes while he was at Rutgers. So you never know what you're going to get when Mohamed Sanu has his hands on the football.
Now Ryan on second down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Jacob Tammy, there. And it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Third down, still 14 yards left. Third and long. It's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. This is fielded at the 7. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
11 yards on the pickup, and the Cowboys are going to get a 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watched tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
They keep on the ground with Elliott, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
Single, that's single slot. Here we go. Run 38.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Come on, let's go.
Prescott on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
Let's go.
2nd down, Prescott. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense.
Here we go. 1-9.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
It's away, and it's a high kick here, but not high enough to hit the scoreboard here in Dallas. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep.
Wiley? Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names?
You name it, has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't give many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2 yards to go here on 3rd down. Third and 2. Now Ryan. He's got Sanu. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now a first down following that long gain. Now Ryan on first down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. And it's 3rd and short.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defender's going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him.
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Here's Matt Bosher now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trait in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
To throw is Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
He'll come out in the pistol. On second down, Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
Let's go! Brand 38!
On third down, it's Prescott surveying the field. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Now Ryan on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell McClain in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. So it's third and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Third and long. It's Ryan. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Come on, let's go!
This is Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Ten yards still left on second down.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end. Let's go! What? 9!
They go to Elliott again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle that time, Tyson Jackson.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Let's go. What? 90. Flex round.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He's got time in the pocket. And that's caught by Beasley. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
Hey, we got 4. Come on, let's go. Ryan 38.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They come out here in the eye. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Oh, he stays up. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. So 3rd down, and the Falcons going with a dime. 6 defensive backs. 3rd and long for Prescott. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction. Excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Bryant, the lone receiver left.
Here we go. Watch that.
On 1st and 10, Prescott looking middle, and it's incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
Let's go. Brand 38.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Still in search of the 1st down after that last completion. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They come up in an offset eye. A give to Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
The give is to Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Let's go. 1, 9, flex round. Flex round.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's got his man. It's Williams. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, 39 yards. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Connects with Sanu right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
Really nice connection on the corner route. This is a play where the receiver wants to set up the defensive back by moving him inside and then breaking back to the corner.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. On 1st down, Ryan. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now Ryan. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that brings up 4th down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So a field goal gets you back within a score, but they're going to go for the bigger chunk here. Kicking team on the sidelines. Offense on for 4th down. And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. And out now come the Cowboys. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.